Hi everyone, good afternoon. This is Bilal from Sangfor Technologies, Oman, and our today's agenda is Sangfor ADAS solution, how securely we can do the remote work with our simple, secure, and reliable VDI solution. I will be today's agenda is like I will be introducing you the VDI concept. In my previous webinar, we have discussed about how much functionality, how much reliability, and how much security we are giving you in our VDI solution. So this is now the time we will show you how simple we are in administrative point of view and how much security we are giving you in our solution as compared to our competitors. So today's agenda is introduction to VDI, comparison with the competitors, security provided by the Sangfor, in which we will provide you showcase you how we will secure the communication, how we will secure the data leak, and how simple and and easy the administration and configuration of this VDI solution. And at last, we will be having a FAQ session. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, you can contact me. I will be available. Okay. So let's start with the introduction to VDI. I will be more quick because I will be showing you the technical part, how we will be implementing and how quickly we will be implementing the VDI solution. So, I got many requests that you need to take this webinar to show us how quickly and how much easy the setup of VDI. So that's why we are here and we will be showcasing you how simple and secure our VDI solution is. So let me introduce our technology, like how we installed our hypervisor, how we will be having access from the user, who will be controlling our VDC. So in three steps, like user access and our identity management, like the virtualization. So in three steps, you can deploy our VDI solution. So we called our VDI solution a one-stop solution. As you can see my screen in the user panel, you have like a thin client, a PC, and a mobile device. So we have our own thin client for the end user. So there will be no third-party hardware, or you need no need to contact a third-party hardware thin client if something goes wrong with your thin client. And we are flexible enough to give you provisioning to use your own PC. Like old PC, you can reuse. Old laptop, you can reuse. If you are working from home, you can use your laptop or PC to connect remotely to your business machine. Okay, and do the office work. And we can give you mobile device, connectivity as well. Like you can if you are in going other country, if you are connecting with home, you can have like any device connectivity with a mobile device, PC, laptop, or in-house or in your enterprise company, you can have a thin client as well. How the access management will be controlled with our VDC. Okay, virtual desktop controller. It comes with hardware and it can be installed in virtualization environment. And all the policies, all the user creation, all the VM creation, all the license management, and all the thin client management will be done through your VDC. So it's a very powerful tool and easy to manage. I will showcase you how. And this is our hypervisor, which will be enabling you for the resources to allocate to particular user like CPU, RAM, disk, and even if you are going for a 3D virtualization or 3D VDI solution, we can have a capability of GPU embed in our servers. So you can have graphic application installed in that user VM, and they can avail the graphic application at any place, like to work from home or inside your company. So hypervisor giving you the virtual desktop, application virtualization, and management panel for VDC like user creation, policy creation, and VM creation. And then we can have these user scenario like secure office, as I mentioned, remote work, the R&D, call center, production line, 2D and 3D design. We can support all applications throughout these, scenarios. And how we are giving you the integration with your LDAP or AD. So we can integrate our virtual controller with our, you can say, VDC. We integrate your AD, and all the user will be synced to VADC, and you can connect through your domain credentials. Okay, and you can have like a lot of application scenarios as well. And if you are going for a full desktop scenario, you can give full desktop to your end user based on your requirement. So, as the current scenario, work from home, so you can have easily access the VDI, which is inside your data center, anytime, anywhere, in any device. This approach we are giving you with our VDI solution, safe, secure, and reliable. Okay, you can access your desktop, you can access it in your mobile device, tab device, whether it is an ISO, iOS, whether it is an Android, whether it is a laptop or a thin client. Okay, you can access your VM, which will be residing inside your data center and connect to your corporate environment. So this is the scenario. We have different protocol for different network connectivity. Like if a user is connecting inside your office, so we have SRAP protocol, which will be giving you the video redirection, screen, image commands, and optimizing the performance of your virtualization, whether it is a thin client or you are using a PC or a laptop. So you have a capability to reuse your PC, and you can purchase our thin client for better and optimized solution as well, and cost saving as well. So you can integrate with your local peripherals, like whatever it is, like a USB scanner, a USB printer. So you can take a local printer with our VDI solution. Let's suppose a user is working from home and he wants to print in his local printer, so he can achieve that uh, as well. And if you are accessing VDI through out of the band, like through WAN connectivity or from anywhere, so we have our own HEDC protocol, which will be optimizing your connection, saving the bandwidth, and encrypting that traffic from end to end, like giving the security and encrypting the traffic, so man-in-the-middle attack will be prevented. And you can have, let's suppose, as I mentioned, we have our own hypervisor. In my last webinar, we have discussed all these things. When you are having our web hypervisor, you are enabling yourself for VDI solution and our cloud side. Okay, whether it is a public cloud or a private cloud. And now we have a memory tiering in our HCI solution. So whenever you are going or growing your network, you just need to add the NVMe RAM, NVMe SSD in your server, and it can be affordable. The cost setting scenario, the RAM prices are very high, so you can go with the NVMe RAM to balance your RAM requirement. So we have a memory tiering functionality in our hypervisor. Based on that, you can have more resources in your VDI solution as well. So you can have full desktop solution. You can have whether it is a Windows, whether it is a Linux. You can have both on our remote desktop solution, and you can have a remote application scenario as well. Okay, and as I mentioned, we support vGPU solution as well. If a user require a 3D application to be run on his VDI VM, so we can support, we can give a dedicated CPU or shared CPU to him as well. So here is the vGPU architecture. As I mentioned, we can support NVIDIA Grid vGPU manager. So we have like a shared scenario as well, that uh, vGPU will be shared to multiple VMs. Okay, and you can operate and run all presented application like Autodesk uh, and other CATIA and Maya, all the 3D application with 2D application as well. So these are the capabilities we are giving you in the 3D environment as well. Now we will go for the comparison with other brand, how simple and how secure our communication and our setup is. As you guys are aware of Citrix and VMware installation of the VDI like Omnisa and Citrix. If you are going for a Citrix solution, you need to deploy all these modules separately and integrate with a DDC Citrix like Studio Server, License Server, Direct Monitor, SQL database, Storefront, NetScaler. And the thing is that it is not done by our one vendor. You have different hardware, Citrixin servers, VMware hypervisor or Hyper-V for third-party servers and third-party hypervisor. So what problem you get, what issue you have, like if something goes wrong with a server, you need to contact to the server vendor, and if something goes wrong with the software, then the blame game will start. So you have third-party hardwares like from the end user till the server end, till your DC. You have a different vendor hardware. They don't have their own thin client, but we have our own thin client. As I mentioned, we have our own server, we have our own hypervisor. On top of that, we will be installing our VDC. It comes with both hardware and virtualization software appliance. So you can install VDC, which will be managing all the functionality like managing user, managing license, managing third party, managing our thin client or some of the third party thin client we can also add with our VDC. You can see we can have the access to our VDC as well. We can build our resources in our virtualized desktop and application scenario through our VDC as well. And as last, we have our own thin client hardware. So as a one-stop solution, your contact will be Sangfor, which will be saving money, giving like save the concern of the company, save the effort to build a solution and time and cost as so here are some advantage when you are migrating from PC to our VDI. We have elastic resource allocation, like improves the hardware utilization rate. If you are going for a PC approach, then you dedicate that PC resource to a specific person. But when you are going for a VDI solution, you are sharing these server resource to multiple users. Okay, data is stored on a backend server, so data security will be there as well. Okay, unified software management. We have a centralized management, so the IT staff will be managing it centrally while installing your application. on a PC, on a user PC or a user VM. So all the administration will be centralized. Support remote user access from any location and any device. As I mentioned, we have capability, so you can access VDI VM from your laptop, from your mobile device, or our thin client device from any location. We just need to publish VDI, and you have a secure communication with our VDC. So here is the when you are, lot of our customer is asking how we can save the cost, how we can have the data protection. So as the previous slide mentioned, that your data will be residing in your data center. So there will be policy which will be created inside our VDC to restrict a user to copy the file. Okay, to take a snapshot, to take like when he take a snapshot, there will be a watermark. Okay, so he cannot transfer the file from a VDI VM to his own PC. So that restriction we will be giving in our VDI environment. As I mentioned, that you can save your cost and electricity consumption. How we have our own thin client that give you like save 80% of electricity while comparing with a traditional PC. Life cycle of VDI hardware is very long as they are using fanless technology. So we have a very high performance and high reliable device in shape of our thin client. So all the data will be saved in the central location, not in your thin client. You just need to connect thin client with the network and uh, your mouse, keyboard, and the monitor. You just require those things, and your thin client will become a medium between you and your VDI server. So here are some security. I will introduce what security we are giving, end-to-end security design of our VDI solution. From the user perspective, we can have a screen mark, okay, watermark. So whenever a user connect to its VDI VM, there will be a watermark. If someone take a photo from mobile device and leak your information, so you can trace easily who leaks and from whose VM it's leaked, the data is leaked. Anti-screenshot, let's suppose a user is working back in home and he started recording the session, and he taking the snapshot inbuilt in the your PC or laptop. So we restrict that as well, screen recording and anti-screenshot. So export document audit, we can do the export document audit from the user perspective, like user cannot export the data from VM to his PC. Okay, and if we allow, so it will be a specific software from where he can export the document, and we can set a limit how many time he can export and how much data size, file size he can export. The clipboard control like copy and paste, and then the USB whitelisting, we can restrict the USB to not so any user who is having USB in home or in your organization, it will be restricted. Only the specific USB which you whitelisted will be work in your VDI solution. Application whitelisting and screen recording we have as a third party tool we can integrate for the screen recording as well. For the client side, endpoint environment check, when you are connecting with the VDC, there will be a password like user and password, whether it is a local or you integrate with the LDAP. First, you will give user and password. Then there will be a environmental check, post authentication and pre-authentication. We have both. Multi-factor authentication like 2FA we have with a Microsoft Authenticator or Google Authenticator, or we have SMS authentication as well, anti-brute force attack, and single sign-on for the user perspective. BDC Our platform has HTTP as transmission, anti-man in the middle attack prevention, anti-suit 32 birthday attack, and we as a security company embed our firewall WAF in our you can say platform to protect the platform vulnerabilities, to protect any attack from platform level as well. And for the user perspective, we have a distributed firewall to segregate different VM to from communicating each other. From the built-in security side, we have multiple backup copies. As you guys already aware that we have our own hypervisor, which is Sangfor HCI. So we and the VDI solution based on our hypervisor. So automatically we have multiple backup copies of that VM. We can have a backup on external repository as well. As I mentioned, we have a built-in WAF as well, this signature, BIOS protection, and we already have our own endpoint secure for your security, whether it is lateral movement, whether it is east, west, north, south traffic. So we can prevent your virtualization for our security component. So here you can access, sorry, your PC when we have policies like when you are connecting with desktop 1 and desktop 2. uh, we remember that we can give multiple resource to a specific user, or give one resource like a full desktop, or give them multiple resources. You can do and you can manage those resources security policies. Okay, when a user connecting with one desktop, his security policy will be different. When a same user connecting with this different VM, so the security policy will be different. So you can do this independent policy for the user. And while this user, same user, going to his home, working from home or working from anywhere. So he has his own desktop, which is the second desktop, and the security policy will be different. Okay, you can apply a temporary policy as per the request. Let's suppose a user requests to enable temporarily his USB. So you can create a temporary policy for that particular user, like a time allocation, that this policy will be valid till this time period. So in this time period, the USB will be allowed, and after that, the USB will be blocked. So you can have that type of temporary policies as well. Audit export document, as I mentioned, we can prohibit the user for exporting that document from our VDI VM, only allowed exporting document from a specific tool. A system can record user document export behavior, and we can give a limit that he can export file 5 times, 6 times, 10 times, or the size of that particular document, how much the size we can you know give the size as well. Copy of exported document are saved to the data center system. Everything what he is copying or exporting, it will be saved in your data center, so you can see how uh, what file he exported. So for the audit point of view, you can have this audit feature. And as I mentioned, we have a full screen mark, watermark, if anti-screen for the anti-screen capturing or anti-screen shot for a user perspective, like user are working from home. And you can see here, there is a watermark showing. And I will be elaborating you in a technical brief session, like how you can configure this and you can enable it, and you can customize what should be present in this watermark. And it can be in a whole, screen, the watermark will be. This is an anti-screen recording capability we have. Let's suppose you can see the first left screen before enabling anti-screenshot. You can see the screen of VDI VM. Okay, user is accessing his VDI from his desktop, and you can see this window. You can see, okay, like without enabling that anti-screen shot functionality. After enabling that, you can see there is no screen of VDI VM. Okay, focus on this last window. See, he enable our recording software and the blank screen will be recorded. No screen of VDI VM will be captured in a recording scenario as well. So this DLP, data leak prevention, we are giving you in our VDI solutions. So coming to the administration, I will be logging to our hypervisor and our VDI platform and show you how to administrate and how quickly we can build a VDI solution. So here, this is our hypervisor. On the top of our hypervisor, you will be installing a VDC VM. Okay. Only, as I mentioned, only three components will be involved in our VDI solution. First one is our hypervisor, which you are seeing here right now. The second one is VDC. This is our VDC in a software environment. We have a hardware VDC as well. And then a thin client, which will be at the user side as well. So three component and nothing else you need for our VDI solution. Okay, we just import our VDC in our hypervisor. Okay, this is a VMA file. We will be importing that VMA file, and you can automatically it will automatically create a VM here in our hypervisor. You can take a console and give the IP of your network. Okay, so I have given this IP 10.250.0.90, so we can access through this IP a VDC. Okay. Now we can give access to our VDC. As I mentioned, there will be a two portal to access our VDI. Okay, the first portal, as you can see here, this is an admin portal. Okay, this is an admin portal with the port of 4430. This is the IP of VDC, and then this is a port of admin when you are logging with VDC as an admin user, okay, to administrate the VDI. And then without the port, user can access his resources through browser or through agent. Okay, the secure communication will be HTTPS protocol. Okay, let me log in and I will show you. This is our This is our dashboard of VDC, Virtual Desktop Controller, and the version you can see here, 596. This is the latest version we have. And this is a dashboard that the VDA service is running, your license, how much license you have, what are the alerts in your VDI solution, how much resource it is using, okay, the status of the network, the throughput, you can see the utilization of the network, how many users are connected, how many log users are there. Okay, the third party thin client, as I mentioned, we have a capability to integrate third party thin client as well. And we, did it in Oman environment as well. Some of our customer are using third party client for their infrastructure, and then how many concurrent users are connected with your VDI, and how many VMs are created and online as per the time. Okay, so we will be going to set up our VDI. First, we need to integrate this VDC, and before that, we need to activate the license. So how you can activate the license, upgrade the license, device info. So you need to send us the device info to activate the license. After that, you need to integrate this VDC platform to our hypervisor. So it's very simple step, like new, you just name it, description, IP address of your our hypervisor, and the admin credential. So you can just enter it and it will be visible here. Okay. After enabling or integrating our HCI, only 5 steps are there. VM template creation, resource configuration, user creation, roles creation, and policy set for security purpose. Okay. Only these 5 steps include to build your VDI solution. It is that simple. Okay. First, you need to create a template. Okay. How you create a template? Just go to the new. Here you can see our A desktop apps. Just click on it and create a VM. So I already created those VM for you guys, like to save the time. So we have Windows 11 template and Windows 10 template as well. So I already implemented and installed our agent. How, when you install the Windows, you just go to that Windows and install the agent. From here, you can install the agent menu, virtual machine, and download the specific agent. Whether you are going for a Windows environment, whether you are going for the Linux environment, you need to download these agent to have a template. Okay, before this agent, you need to install our VM tool as well. VM tool is mandatory for each and every VM which is installed in our hypervisor, as if you are aware of VMware. So you need to install the VM tool as well. Same like other vendor, you need to install here a VM tool. After that, you need to install our agent. Okay. When we install our agent and we complete our template, now we need to power off those template and log into VDC. Here we can go to the template and create a new template. So new converter template cluster, as we already integrate our hypervisor cluster, so it will be visible here. VMs, like we already have our template VM. So this is the Windows template VM we have created in our hypervisor. We will select it, the group, it is for all, and the version, like it is newly created, so type V1. So it will be, and you can give any description like fresh installation or whatsoever. So it will be helpful for you in the future for identify what is the version and what changes we have made in our virtualization, in our template. Okay, so here you can save it, and it will take some time to convert that particular VM to our VDI template. So here you have a template already created, and you can see here is the 2D template. Now we will be creating a resource for that. new virtual desktop, session-based desktop, remote desktop, and remote application. So we are now creating virtual desktop, like a full desktop solution for a end user. So you can have remote session, remote desktop, and application as well for the application scenario. So now we will be going for the remote desktop. So user will be having full desktop. Like you can mention it, what for which department or for which group of user you are creating this resource. Like I am creating this resource for IT department. Okay, WIN Windows 10. Then I'll move down. You can select the group where it goes. You can have the area, like we have multiple areas for that. Like area we can assign to any specific users. Like to log in, as I log in with the administrator. So this area belongs to administrator. So if you have multiple user, multiple admin user, so you can segregate the areas. The status of this resource is enable work mode, desktop, application, or physical machine. So we are going for our desktop scenario. Sorry. Now we will be creating a virtual machine for users. Okay. What name will be visible for that particular VM? So we will type IT dash Win 10. Okay. Then which template we will be using? Like Windows 10 template we are using. Okay. And now the desktop type, persistent and non-persistent. So when you are going for a persistent, it is fixed. Like there will be no change when a user log out from that particular VM, and it will be dedicated to that particular user. And if you are going for a non-persistent floating VM, then the C drive will be reset. Let's suppose a use case of it is a university lab where a student comes and do their installation, do their application installation and left. So what uh, uh, option we have here. So whatever he installed with his project for his project, it will the C will be restored with first configuration. Okay, first C will be reset to first configuration of that particular template. Okay, VM type we will be link clone or a full clone. Encryption setting if you want encrypted virtual machine for that. Performance setting enable huge page memory and enable L3 cache for that. And a VM you are giving to a group of user or a user, you need to identify how much core you are giving. Like for 4 core you are giving for a specific user or a specific group of user, and how much memory you are giving. So we are giving 16 GB memory, and the create private disk for the virtual machine. This private disk enables you to have like a profile redirection functionality, and to have a local connectivity of your peripheral device, USB devices like printer or scanner. So it will help you in these functionalities. Now create a new VMs. So for the IT department, I will say like I create 5 VMs for you guys to show you how I will create 5 VM for the IT department. Just select a cluster. How many VMs, the count, I will create 3 or 5 VMs. I will show you where I will put the VMs. Like you can see here, VDI user VMs is nothing here. So how quickly the VM will be created, you can see. Okay, 5 VM and the version of that template. You remember that we give a V1 for that version, that it is a initial VM, like the first installation VM. So you can describe while upgrading the template as well. Okay, next. And now you can select a cluster, the group. You can see the group here, user VM is 0. So there is no VM. Now I am creating VMs in user VDI user VM group. Okay, the data store I will select, and then the edge connectivity of your those VMs. Okay, these how these VM will be connected. Like we have multiple VLANs, so we can connect those VLAN with these VMs. Okay, like if you have specific VLAN for IT department, finance department, so you can map this VLAN to a specific group of VMs. Submit, and then it will ask you, are you sure you want to new VMs, like 5 VM will be created, would you like to proceed? Yes. Okay, and save. All thing is done while creating a VM. But if you want to have like a user which will be integrated with your LDAP, so you need to configure first the domain. Okay, so it will be here, like when you are integrating with the domain will be IP will be shown here, and you can set up domain. Whenever a user log in first time, it will join the domain, and you can log in with your domain credentials. Okay, so now we will save it, and it will automatically create 3 VMs in our hypervisor. Okay. So now we can see here 3 VMs, 5 VMs, it's created. Okay, complete create VMs. So how quickly you set up 5 VM for the users. Okay, that capability I want to show you guys how much quickly you can, you know, administrate or you can configure our VDI solution. How simple it is. Okay, you create a resource for that, and if you want to see your virtual machine, here you can see your virtual machines are there. Okay, they are offline now, and now they are up, like in a shutdown mode. Whenever a user connect to them, it will be powered on. Like we have given the number IT Windows 10, and this is the number of VM automatically from here. Now we will go to our second step, the resource. We already created the resources. 5 VM we have created. Now the third option, user. We will create a user like for the new group IT department, IT users, and here you can enable the group. Okay, here we have the group, and inside that group, I can configure a user, which is test. Okay, give the name, temporary name, sorry, password, and it will ask user to change the password when it connects. Okay, now here you can give a user like how much the time he can spend like in the VDI solution. Like it will be disabled automatically in a specific time. Okay, never expire means the user will never expire. The status is enable, integrated, inherent group security. Okay, this is the security we are providing you, like the local password. And if you are going for a TOTP, you can configure the TOTP for Microsoft Authenticator. You just need to click here, and TOTP will be enabled for the user. And we can save it. For the time being, we are not going for the dynamic token. I will explain you later on. First, we will be creating a VDI solution for that particular user. Now, the second is fourth step, roles. We'll create a role for the IT department. Okay, select the user. We have already created a user. Select the user, and then the resource. Which resource we have created for the IT user is IT department window. So we will create that resource. We allocate that resource to the role. Okay, and save. So the configuration is saved now, and The fifth and the last configuration is our policy set. So we will be, if we are not configuring any policy, so it will, the user will go by default in this default policy set. Okay. Now I will create a policy set for IT department. As I mentioned in my slide, that we can have a different policy set for different resources. Like a user test will have different policy set as well. Like when he is connecting with a first resource, he have a different policy. When he connect with a second resource, he have a different policy. So you can give that as well, and we can have a temporary policy as well. Like here, I can show you the temporary permission as well. Okay, so you can give a temporary permission policy creation, and you can give a temporary policy permission as well. So here I will give, sorry, a user, like in an object, I will define users, like this user will be having that particular policy, and those VM will be in this policy. And if you have a domain user or domain group, security group, so you can allocate those as well in this particular when you join the domain. Okay. And now here comes the main part. How your user will be behave when he connect with our VDI VM. This is the account option, like login time, all week. You can, sorry guys, I just want to give, like the login time, how your user will log into the particular VDI. So you can give all week, so it will be log into that particular VM all week. Login IPs you can mention, you can have like only user can access or log in from the specific IP range. Okay, you can allocate the IP range as well. When inactive days exceed this, disable that user if a user is not connected. When disconnection minute reaches 5, so log out the user. When inactive minute reaches uh, how much minute it will reach in endpoint, and all resource session log out the users. Okay, a user can log back within how many time. Okay, maximum hardware IDs. So you can have like, if a user log in with VDI, so it can check the hardware ID. Like you first log in with your PC, then you second log in with your uh, uh, laptop, and then you log in with your mobile device. So there are three hardware IDs. So we can restrict our user how many hardware IDs he can log in. Okay. So next option will be your virtual desktop policy, how your virtual desktop will behave. Okay, the navigation bar, you can hide the navigation bar. You can have a virtual screen, like the virtual screen behavior, as I mentioned, screen capturing, anti-screen capturing and recording is there. If I enable that, you will not see my screen. So why? Because anti-screen capturing and recording is enabled. So for the time being, I will not enable that. Print watermark, I can show you the print watermark print. Okay, so you can set the values of texture, border, front, and the transparency of it. Okay, absolute cursor and all those things you can see in that. Now comes to the PC device access. As I mentioned, you can have a, you can restrict a shared clipboard, like the copy uh, paste mechanism. Okay, PC hard drive, I will show you how it will behave. Like if you enable it, your PC or your laptop drive will be mapped to that VM. So while working in a VDI VM, you can see your desktop or laptop drive in a VDI VM. We can I can show them that as well. Okay, parallel port, serial port, redirection, and if the PC have CD drive, you can map that CD drive to your VDI. And here you can restrict the USB storage devices, USB CDs, USB printer. If you uncheck it, it will allow, and if you uncheck, it will not allow. Okay. So audio device, printer, USB, smart card, you enable all these things for accessing if you require. And if you want whitelisting, like a specific USB your organization provided to your staff, then you can allow from your VID, PID, enable it and allow or deny that specific model of your USB. Okay, and then enable virtual printer. So you can have a user can have a virtual printer in that. And here, as I mentioned, the audit content. So you can create a report center for that. Okay, and then it will take you to set up a report center. So you need to create a report center like Windows Server there and install the agent for the report center, and it will become your report center and give the IP of that particular server here, and all the audit report will be uh, visible there. Okay, virtual drive. Here is the virtual drive. If you want to map any virtual drive to a VM or for a specific the virtual drive, you can create a file server, install our agent, and you can give a virtual drive to a specific user. Okay, let me show you the user profile redirection. This option enables you to redirect your user profile from local hard disk to any other external repository like external file server or your internal virtual disk that we have mentioned in our when we are creating our resources. So you can redirect your profile, redirect your specific folder to file server or any other. And we have integration with FX Logic if you want to use FX Logic, which is a function of Microsoft AD. And here is a very good service, self-service. Let's suppose you have given a user 4 CPU, 8 GB of memory. This is the expansion. What you have given to your VDI VM is 4 core, 16 GB of memory, hard disk, this much of capacity, and capacity per request. So what this option will give you is if a user think that the resource what you have allocated is not fulfilling his your requirement, so he can self request for uh, increase the resources, okay, cores, memory, or the capacity. So this enable function is a self automatic, so user can request increase in the particular core. Okay, okay, then the capacity you can mention it and save this. So we have created our policies, and now we are ready to connect to our virtual desktop infrastructure. So here you can see no one is online, and I will connect. First, you need to install the agent, and in a later version we have a desktop edition. You can access your VDI from browser as well. This is our agent. So the setup is complete. You can see the test 12345 6. We have given the IP, sorry, password, and we are logging to our. Now it is asking to change the password. There is a complexity as well. You need to follow the complexity of the password, complexity requirement. Okay. Now it will take me to my resources, and I can show you the VMs. Now it allocate a VM to a test user, and then see here the desktop is booting, VM is booting, and here you can see a VDI VM. The username, the IT department window resource is available for the user. I believe you can see the watermarking here. This is the watermarking scenario. And if I go to the here, you can have a self-service option, self-service. Okay, self-service. We can change the VM configuration, application record, create a memory snapshot. Like you can give a change in our VM configuration, like CPU, memory, or um, extend the CPU cores. See the integrated is you can go request till 8 cores. So 8 core I am requesting. Memory you can extend to 24 as I mentioned in the 24. And then the capacity, if you want to increase the capacity of your disk, so you can request it, and this request will be gone to the administrator. Here you can see I request to add more RAM. I'll say 16 was there, so I request to 20. Okay, admin purpose. Okay, purpose you need to mention that, and then save. Okay, so this user requested to change to increase his RAM. Now we can see how much the RAM is in his PC. 16 GB is the RAM. Okay, and the approval will come here. Approval. So that user requested for upgrade. You just need to approve it, and automatically when he reboots, the RAM will be increased. Okay, I believe you guys understand how security we are providing, how much security we are providing in our VDI, how quickly we can set up our VDI solution. It's very easy and very secure, and you can publish this, VDC IP and avail work from home, work from anywhere solution. I believe the time is now ended. And if you guys have any question, you are free to ask, and you can ask in a chat as well, and I can reply you back if you have any other question as well. Thank you. If you don't have any questions, so we can close our webinar. And if you have any question, you can contact me by through email and through my WhatsApp number, as I mentioned. So thank you for your presence, and hope you guys understand how quickly, simply, and security we are providing in our VDI solution. Thank you, guys.